All right, how's it going, everybody? I guess we got a minute before somebody joins. Uh,
Well, whoever watches this, welcome to Entertainment Review, episode number 2. Appreciate you joining us. Oh, we got a viewer already. Thank you for joining us. Please like, share, subscribe, sit back, and talk a little bit of entertainment news tonight. Tonight's going to be the month of October, Halloween theme. Tonight we got a nice episode for you tonight. So let's get the show on the road.
how you doing, everybody, or whoever you are? Uh, we live on your comments, so comment in the comment section and let us know what you're thinking of the show. First off, first duty we have tonight is to say a fond farewell to Miss Angela Lansbury from Murder She Wrote and various other things. I think she was a voice on Beauty and the Beast. So
she
uh,
what?
she
I
was
think she was the teapot.
She was 96 years old. She passed away at 1:30 a.m. this morning. Um, she was 5 days away from turning 97. So, hats off to you, Miss Lansbury. You entertained me for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Rest in peace.
Oh yeah, I haven't
Eh,
caught up with Yellowstone yet, so I really don't know what to say about that. A Facebook user, if you put uh, click allow yard stream to see, so we can see your name, we can see who you are, and okay, we're going to talk about. It is Halloween. We're going to talk about the music in Halloween, Halloween themed music. We're going to talk about uh, remakes. We're going to discuss some remakes, the best and worst remakes around. Um, I don't agree with all the worst ones because sometimes the worst ones are the better ones to me. Um, we're going to do 50s movies tonight, 50s horror movies. I'm going to highlight the movie called The Magnetic Monster, which was one of the very first movies that was introduced after the radiation era, the radiation monsters. It was like the first one
mm-hmm.
that actually took radiation seriously, and they even kind of saw forward to what how they were people were going to be dumping radiation in the oceans at the time. So we'll talk about that a little bit. If you haven't seen it, I recommend. It's one of the best 50s horror movie, monster movies. Be specific there of its era. And I'm going to ask everybody also name an old 50s movie like the Werewolf, or we just saw. I just watched um, Werewolf by Night, and I loved that the way they did the noir effect and gave it that universal monster feel to it. I thought it was well done. It was well made. Uh, Tell me what you think. Should they do some more like that? I know Marvel is planning on doing more of those specifically, but what monster movies from the early days before in black and white would you like to see remade with classy, not just throw it out there, but remade in a kind of noir feel like that? And if you haven't seen Werewolf by Night, I recommend going to check it out. Now we're going to get to what Marty's Marty's little segment about music. I won't have a lot to add to this because I'm not really big on the Halloween theme stuff. Not the music part of it anyway. So take it away, Marty.
So yeah, on my little segment here. So these are like songs that's not Halloween, but technically that's the time of the year you actually play them. This is more like a definitive Halloween playlist at a party. Not for This is not for kids. I can do if the chat wants me to. I can make a kid friendly all around Halloween theme songs and stuff. But this is literally for like Halloween music for adults. It's nothing to do with Ghostbusters. Spoilers on that. No Ghostbusters, no Monster Mash. This is literally rock music, pop music, and themes that are just perfect for this time of year. So with the first one, I'm gonna get there's 4 movie themes on my list. I'm gonna go ahead and get them out of the way, and then I will get to the songs. The first one is Saw, the theme from Saw. It is one of the most catchiest movie themes when it comes to the horror movie business that is out there. And when actually, after you hear it 2 or 3 times in a Saw movie, it's like stuck in your head for hours. The second one is actually the same composer, and I didn't write his name down. I apologize. Is Dead Silence. It's a movie that's technically not that great, but when you walk away from watching this movie, that song, that theme is going to be stuck in your head every time it comes Halloween time, or you hear a beat that reminds you of it. You're going to be thinking of Dead Silence, one of the best movie themes out there. Number two is a classic. I want to say, and Johnny, you can correct me on this. I don't know if it's from the 70s or the 80s. Is the original Exorcist and the Exorcist theme. I believe that's the 70s. Am I correct?
The late 70s.
That theme it still holds up from the test of time to this day is one of the best of all time. With the how it just starts out and then that middle segment of that theme kicks in is just perfect. Number one, like there was any other theme I was gonna put on here for number one, Halloween. John Carpenter's Halloween. If it is from the rock version of it, if it is the orchestra, if it's the piano, if it's the Rob Zombie, if it's some weird ass remake, the Halloween theme is the best Halloween theme, orchestra wise, movie wise, period, of all time. It will go one because there's nothing can top that. It's perfect. So
Well,
with the you don't so what would you pick over Halloween? You think maybe Jaws? I actually almost put Jaws
Jaws
on my
is the
list.
greatest of all time, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not.
for a horror
But is it?
movie, it is a horror movie. Yes.
It is. But is it better than The Exorcist? Is it better than Halloween?
Yes. All
I
right.
mean,
To answer
Jaws.
that question, to answer that question, every human being on the planet can do the dun 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 thing. You have to think a minute to hit uh, the first one you just said,
Halloween.
Exorcist thing.
Yeah,
Um,
Exorcist. There's no way you can. But once
and
you hear it, it's
and the
like
Halloween
so.
theme is a little bit more technical, so it's but
Yeah,
any 3 year old can go dun 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 dun
yeah,
dun.
and that's kind of the reason I didn't put it on the list because it's so simple.
But it
Now,
simplicity. Sometimes simple is best, dude. That's all I can say.
well, the in the chat, I would love to hear your opinion on this. If you had to pick Jaws or John Carpenter's Halloween theme, which one is the best Halloween theme or horror movie theme that's ever been created? As a fanboy, I gotta go with Halloween. Okay, now
I love the
songs, and
Halloween theme too. Yeah.
I do too. And I mean, especially the new ones that they have been cranking out with John Carpenter, the new from Blumhouse. Oh, it is good, very very good. Okay, so music. Like I said, some of these, Johnny, if you want to debate one of these that's on the list, that's fine. If or we can just blow through them. But I know there's one you're going to probably have a nice discussion about. All right, so the first one on my list, and none of these are in order. And from the chat, I would love you to put your songs in that if I have forgotten or didn't think about, please let us know. We'd love to talk about this. First one on my list is Imagine Dragons, Demons. When you hear that song, it just screams Halloween and fall time. When they the lyrics of looking deep, look into my eyes is where my demons hide. It is just awesome.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jim. Exorcist was. I don't even think I can watch that anymore, man.
It's
Especially
hard.
Dane, the sequel. That was something, man. And Jaws. How many people quit going to the water? Exactly.
You got a point there. All right, next one. And Johnny, this is a band you probably know a good bit about, and you're probably going to debate me on the song I picked because
I
I'm
like
not a big fan
I
of
like
it.
your choice with Imagine Dragons there too.
You
I
do?
like that.
Ghosts, Spillways.
Yeah. Uh,
I'm not a big.
anytime you get monks throat singing anything, it's great, dude. Especially the metal music. All right, yeah, I of course I love it.
I'm not a big Ghost fan, except my truck, but I really like Spillway. When there's a lyric in the song about casket, you have my casket. I just like that is just perfect for
Oh, I'm
the
a fan of
Halloween season.
wolves. I would have put wolves right there too, though. So,
Alrighty, now this is the one I think you're going to debate. You ready for this?
oh god,
Cher, Dark Lady. Think about it for a second. A gypsy that has a black cat that
dude,
ends up getting
I know
shot.
all about Cher. Cher was my girl when I was growing up, man.
I thought this one for sure you'd be like, why in the world do you have that on your list?
Why would I do that? Cher is an icon, dude.
She is. I just thought
So
you were being a heavy metal fan. You'd be like, shared? How
I'm a
dare
heavy
you?
metal fan, but I've listened to dude. I grew up in an era when I was listening to polka music when I grew up. Okay, so um, Lawrence Welk on TV on PBS at night. My mom was a big Lawrence Welk fan, so
So far, none of
but
these you have a
Cher,
problem.
I
Mhm.
think yeah, I'll go with Cher. I'll let you have that one.
Dark, Dark Lady. It just seems like Halloween. All right, now here's one I think you might really like. Rob Zombie, Living Dead Girl.
For
I mean, it's just Rob Zombie.
how about Dracula?
That I still got a list here. I have multiple songs from the same artist. Don't spoil it. But the music video of that is really good and very entertaining. It's definitely made for October. All right, next on my list, Metallica. Metallica, Enter Sandman.
Yeah, that's good.
Just to the point where you fall asleep and someone's going to enter your room. It's just screams horror. Nothing says horror like October. All right, Johnny, here you go. Rob Zombie, Dracula. None of these are in order, so please don't get mad at me. I mean, in my opinion, I would have that top five. I just didn't put none of these in order. Dracula was based on the monsters. Is that correct?
Um,
The mu-
was it based on the monsters?
I think it was like a love letter, basically, of the monster. The car is actually in the music video, and I believe it's about the car from the monsters.
Okay, yeah, that's
All
what.
right. Next one, Michael Jackson, Ghost.
Come on, you can't leave Thriller out. Thriller's at every
I
Halloween
like.
party ever, man.
Remember what I said that I have multiple songs from the same
Okay,
artist.
well, let me throw a song in here real quick then,
All right.
because I know you don't have it, but I think this is the most Halloween song of all time. It's
What's that?
called Mushroom Head, We Are the Truth. And it's such a Halloween song. It's a horror movie song that the entire video is done in Evil Dead fashion. The demon girl in here is so outrageous, it's pathetic.
Yeah, I don't have that on my list. I don't really watch or listen to Mushroom Head.
Yeah, well, you should see. You missed that one, dude.
I missed out, sir. I am so sorry.
I'll
All,
send it to him.
all right. Next one, Michael Jackson, Thriller. That's number one. Point blank. You hear it on radio stations. If it is a cheap mom and pop Halloween trick or treat get together, you hear the music Thriller in the background. It's like that is iconic and will never be topped. That is the best Halloween song that has ever been made. I don't see anything topping that ever.
I I can agree almost.
Next on my list, Bad Wolves, Zombie.
There you go.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Yep, that's on my list. All right. I mean, there's really no debating or talking about it. It's just perfect. Next one. You may want to debate me on this one. I'm going old school on this one. The Rolling Stones. I think it's pronounced Symphony for the Devil.
Sympathy for the Devil. Yep.
When you listen to that song, it just screams freaking haunted house, trick or treating almost, or maybe not trick or treating, but haunted house and just jack o' lanterns, pretty much. All right, I cannot pronounce the artist name on this one, but Werewolves of London is next on my list. Can't hear you. You're muted.
I'm trying to do something without getting copyright
Okay.
infringements. Give me a minute.
All right. So with this next song, chat, please let us know. I mean, put in your opinion. Put in a song that you think's a perfect Halloween song. And I would love to hear your debate on right now that I'm on Werewolves of London. I mean, it's like you hear on every playlist and party list of a Halloween. It is just made for October. I mean, that's the only way you can look at it. All right, next on my list, Rockwell and Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson actually cracked the list 3 times, technically twice, but he uh, wrote this song. And Somebody Watching Me. Nothing sounds more creepier than being in your house and someone's fucking spying and looking through the window or breaking in your house. It ended in the music video of the zombies at the end. It is like perfect for Halloween. All right, finally.
We got a guest in the background. I'm gonna bring him in a minute when he decides to get rid of the profile and show himself.
Okay, I only got one more song left, Johnny. Well, not number one, just the last one on my list. AC/DC, Hell's Bells. I picked this over Highway to Hell because Hell's Bells just seemed more devilish for the Halloween season. So Hell's Bells gets the final nod on my ultimate Halloween playlist. This Halloween music. That's technically not, but it's just perfect for it.
Would you rank Hell's Bells over For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica?
Yes.
No way, man.
Yes.
The whole meaning behind For Whom the Bells Toll is all about Halloween and shit. I mean, it's all.
Technically, why I said that because I actually forgot about that song. I just didn't want to be like an asshole, but I actually forgot about that song from Metallica.
Alec, take your profile picture down. Come up here in your face.
But I do have Enter Sandman from Metallica, so it was not like I totally forgot about him.
Okay.
So, any songs on this list, Johnny, that you would replace, or you kind of have?
Oh, come on, man! I'm a metalhead. Demon. I would put. You had Ghost. What was the one you said by Ghost?
Spillway.
Yeah, I would. I would have used Ghost Wolf Totem instead.
And that's just me not being a big Ghost fan. I like Spillway. It sounded, more catchier to me personally. This is a personal opinion on Ghost.
And I would never have left out Mushroom Head. Never.
Alex, I never.
Does my voice work in here?
Yeah. You're a bit loud.
Little echo.
Whoa. Too much feedback there, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're too close to something.
Is it good now?
Nope, still got an echo.
Yeah.
I hate this MacBook. I'm going on my phone. I'm gonna use my phone. Fuck it.
I love how he smacked on his hand. Like, pop, I'm going on my phone. They just smacked it like a bitch, like, your turn.
I agree with Sympathy for the Devil. That is one of rock's all-time great songs.
It is.
It 100%, man. I love that song.
Mm-hmm.
We have anybody else? Any others? Now you did the horror themes, and you nailed that. I think with Michael Myers and Jaws. And what was the other? Oh, yeah, The Exorcist.
I didn't get the Jaws, but I got Dead Silence, Saw, The Exorcist, and Halloween.
Oh, I didn't hear you say Dead Silence.
Yeah, I had Dead Silence on there.
I don't think Dead Silence is as recognizable because it hasn't.
It's not. Yeah, it's not that. iconic because not a lot of people have actually watched it. But once you watch it, it is like the best part of the movie. It sticks out the most.
Well, a good horror movie has to have a good theme song or
Yeah,
theme
and this
soundtrack.
has
Man,
it's
it
like
does.
this has an awesome soundtrack, but it doesn't have a standout movie because it wasn't promoted very well
Jim
when it came
Melvin,
out.
Jim Melvin, if you're still in the comments, have you ever heard of the movie The Magnetic Monster from the 50s? If that was a great movie, it was a great revelation on the atomic age. Also,
I know I didn't because I was negative 39 at that point.
-39, and Alec, I'm sure has.
Oh, I'm
Alec,
trying.
what's your favorite monster musical theme? Like dun 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 and all that stuff.
Like horror movie theme.
It's
Why do I
I have
why
to.
do I have the feeling by looking at his face he's gonna say Friday the 13th?
I don't know. Let him say
Yeah, it's the Jason one. It has to be.
it. That one I was waiting for it to come out because that whole theme was an accident. They accidentally came across that playing the when they were in the editing room, and they just started hitting that. It was basically kill them, Jason, kill them, Jason, and they did it. They screwed around with the editing tools and they come up with that.
I'm trying to see why
But
my
how's that a theme? It's just
trying to see how my thing is and how my because this is StreamYard has messed up. The StreamYard has messed up on my laptop like the last like week. So now I'm trying to see why it's doing that. Because like FaceTime works on here, but not StreamYard. So I'm trying to see why it's
like
doing
I
that.
would pick Nightmare on Elm Street theme over Friday the 13th.
No way, dude. No way. No, no, no.
I just
Dude,
I,
that is so iconic and it's so simple.
I mean,
Simple
yes, it's
is always best when it comes to these things, and that
but
is a
here's the thing.
super.
Oh, here you go, Johnny. So you
Whoa!
said, you said, you
Turn your
said,
volume down a little bit, dude.
But
you
here's the
said,
thing though.
you said
It's
pink
not
flute. There you
really a
go.
it's
Pink
not
Floyd.
really a theme. It's just a sound. It's a Halloween sound effect. It's not a
It's a theme.
theme.
It's recurring throughout the movie. Guess what? That's a recurring theme throughout the movie.
A theme is like in the end credits and the beginning of the movie.
It's in both of those.
I mean, I would say the Michael Myers one too. I like that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Well, basically, Michael Myers and what's that other one? They have the same sound. Um, it's the piano theme thing. Just a few keys and that's it.
I'm trying to see.
Dude, all right, you got to turn your sound off, dude. We're going to get. All right. I'm still hearing this feedback, dude.
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute.
I guess StreamYard hates me.
StreamYard hates you. That's the new horror show coming out in 2024. Okay, who is tired of those movies? Who is so sick of the technological movies? Like, well, let's start with Ring, okay,
Oh,
and go The Call. What else was it?
one missed call. One missed call.
Yeah.
Last House on the Left.
What?
That's actually a good movie.
That's
not
even
It's not a
technological
ghost
movie.
movie.
I thought you meant horror movies. My bad.
You may be thinking about like Wrong Turn or something, but no, Last House on the Left is a freaking epic
No,
movie.
I was talking about the technological movie. Who is so tired of them? I am. I'm burnt out on it. Every time
Yeah.
there's new technological advance, 5-10 minutes later, there's a horror movie about it. You know. And
Mm-hmm.
Last House on the Left, by the way, great movie. Great movie.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's like a 7 out of 10.
No.
It didn't really make me jump at all.
It's not supposed to. It's not a horror movie. It's like a thriller,
It's a thriller.
suspense movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's what I'm saying. Like not like scared, but like like the suspense like
Alex,
makes you
can
want.
you turn your volume down?
I do have my volume down. It's
All right,
like
can y'all hold
bad.
this down for a second? I need to grab a can of water. I'll be right back.
No beer tonight.
Okay, I gotta get me a can of water. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
So I don't know.
Trying to stay healthy.
I guess technology hates me. I might as well update this thing because that's why I feel like this is what it's about.
Okay. Well, I guess nobody's going to answer that question.
Let me just update this. I feel like that's why my MacBook is doing this.
So, what was the last horror movie that you watched, Alex? Or Halloween themed? It can be something as silly as Eight Witches of Eastwick or Hocus Pocus.
I watched the Hocus Pocus too.
Did you?
Yeah, I watched it. It was on Disney Plus.
You give it a recommendation?
I mean, if you watch the original, I would say like I give it like a 8 out of 10. Like it's bearable, but it's not terrible.
Is it better than the original Hocus Pocus?
Oh, nothing could beat the original.
Yeah, I was about to
But
say
they
the
have the
original
original.
one.
They have the original cast though with the same 3 witches.
But they don't. Do they have the talking cat or the cat in this one?
Yeah, they have the cat in here.
How's it compared to Witches of Eastwick?
Ooh, the sad part is I have not watched that.
Okay. Jim Melvin, I know you can tell me. How does Hocus Pocus compare to Witches of Eastwick? Because I think that's they're the same genre, I believe. I have not watched Hocus Pocus. It's on my to-do list. It's been on my to-do list for a year now, and I just haven't. And that's the first one. I still haven't thought about the second one yet.
Dude, you haven't watched the Hocus Pocus, the original one?
Okay, Witches of Eastwick is totally different. All right. No, I haven't. I haven't got around to it.
Wow. I mean, that's
At
been out
least you
since the
didn't waste your
90s.
time watching that Jeffrey Dahmer freaking Netflix show. I
Wow.
was that bored. I started watching that.
I did watch Jeffrey Dahmer.
Even though they said that the Dahmer
I watched the new one that's on. I think it's on Paramount
Netflix.
Plus or something. No, it's not on Netflix. I don't have Netflix.
Oh, well, it's probably on different sites then because they have the Dahmer tapes and then they have the actual like
No,
show they came out with.
But I watched.
But it wasn't even.
I watch all.
Apparently,
I watch all of those historic documentary slasher documentaries. I don't know why I'm stuck on them.
the only thing that kind of made me mad is like the way they made that Dahmer show. There was like a lot of stuff that they were missing in it that they didn't come out with. So that's why I was like, if you're gonna make it, you might as well just make it at least somewhat accurate.
So, all right, I knew the John Updike novel is Hocus Pocus based on a novel, or is it was made just for screen?
I think it
I
was a
think it was just made for
story.
screen. It was one of those Disney originals that they came out with.
Yeah.
I think like back when I was like 9 or 8.
Damn, how young are you?
No, I mean like I mean I can't look at that laptop. I don't know when it came out, but I remember watching it on Disney when I was like young.
I think it came out in 96. Anyone in chat, please correct me on this. I think it was like 96 or 95-ish. It came out.
If
I
it-
was like 7 or 8 years old, maybe 7 when that movie came out.
I hear about it and hear about it and hear about it, and
I mean, if it came out in
it's on my
'95,
list.
I was just born.
It's on my to-do list,
Damn, I'm older than you. Oh my God, I feel old.
but I just have
Johnny,
never.
Johnny,
You
I know
think you feel
comment.
old? When I was on the boat, there's people that I worked with that are 19, and I told them they're like, "When did I join?" I said 2015. They said they were middle school when that happened.
Oh
I was,
my
I
God.
was like, well, I feel old.
Haunted Mansion,
That
that movie sucked. I'm sorry. Haunted Mansion, if that's the one with Eddie Murphy, I think that's Eddie Murphy. That one sucked.
What sucked about it? because I enjoyed the hell out of that movie.
It's just the CGI and the acting. Eddie Murphy did not put in. If that's the one I'm thinking about, he did not put in like a decent effort in that movie.
Okay,
It's just,
we'll have to agree to disagree on that one because I love that
yeah.
movie.
You also like watching. I don't know why, because I probably read the books over and over again. But the Goosebumps shows, I don't know why. Maybe because I read the books too many times.
I enjoyed the Goosebump shows. As childish as they are, which they're made for children, but they were great. The newer, I tried to get into the newer ones, and I just couldn't. They're like, okay, that you've gone beyond me now.
Well, I can't watch the new ones that came out with the new like movie they had for Goosebumps. I couldn't watch it. It's not like the original.
I'm a big fan of the Nickelodeon. I think it was Nickelodeon, the TV series of Goosebumps with the what was the name? Skippy, that doll. Oh, that as a kid, that traumatized the hell out of me. That freaking doll.
I hate anything with a doll in it. I was never a Chucky fan.
Same.
There's an old 60s or 70s movie that came out about the toy master or whatever he was, the master of puppets. And the Puppet Master.
Yeah,
Puppet
that was
Master.
in
Remember that?
the was it 60? I thought it was in 70s when those movies came out. Because they made
I
like
said
5 or
60s or
6.
70s.
What, the Goosebumps?
No, the
No,
Puppet
no.
Master.
Puppet Master. That was a
Mhm.
pretty good. It was a creepy ass movie with a bunch of little mannequins, little figurines that attack people.
Hey, you
Screw
wouldn't
it up.
like Dead Silence then.
I've watched Dead Silence over and over. That's one of my favorite movies. What would you say? I wouldn't like it.
I just didn't think you would like Dead
Oh,
Silence.
Marty, Hocus Pocus came out in '93.
Oh my God,
Thank you,
I was 4 years old then, or
you
yeah, I was 4
kids.
years old.
I was 2 years unborn.
Jim,
You
I'm doing
negative
a show with
negative two,
children.
I was -2.
negative two, because I wasn't thought of -2 years ago. -2 years.
I agree 100%, Jim. That's how I feel about all those little puppet movies and stuff.
So
Just
Rotten
hit
Tomatoes gave Hocus Pocus 2 a 63%. Wow, that's why I give it. That's about accurate.
I don't know. I think Hocus Pocus should be like in maybe 71, 72 Rotten Tomatoes because it's just so iconic. There's a cult following from the original Hocus Pocus, and the music on it
I
is
mean,
actually
it
really
gave
good.
it gave more of a backstory on
Okay,
everything.
okay. Here we go. Jason's involved.
Oh dear God!
Okay.
Why do I have a feeling his favorite horror movie is Bambi? I just feel like it's fucking
No, it's not
Bambi.
Bambi. It's Godzilla versus Bambi.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. Some freaking porn movie or something. Probably his favorite
No,
horror
you don't.
movie is
I
probably Two
wasn't talking
Girls, One
about
Cup.
porn. I said Godzilla versus Bambi. You don't ever see that. You've never seen that animated little bit.
Yes, I have.
It's got Bambi lunching
Yeah,
in the
trotting along,
woods.
and then all of a sudden Godzilla.
It's flat.
Yeah. His is probably Two Girls, One Cup, though. He's probably scared of that.
Okay, let's get back on the rails.
Yeah, but that's the only reason why I liked the Hocus Pocus 2 because it gave more of the backstory of everything compared to the first one.
Mhm.
That's like one of the main reasons why I liked it. But it's like comparing it to 1 or 2, I like the number one better.
Original Hocus Pocus. Okay, Jim, you've twisted my arm. I'm going to have to watch the damn thing. My nephew made me want to watch it last year, and then it went on my list, and then I never did click on it. So,
Can I add one more movie that's like a classic? The Nightmare Before Christmas.
yes, that's 100%.
Yeah, that's a
What
super
is
classic.
that? A Christmas movie or a Halloween movie?
God, that's a good question. That
It's
is
like
a
a
really
half.
good, yeah.
It's like a half, kind of.
So it's a movie you can watch. It's kind of like, well, Die Hard's a Halloween movie.
Kind of like Batman Returns. Batman dressing up as a Batman for Halloween, but yeah, it's set in Christmas time. It can technically be both.
My question is, if they make another Halloween movie after this, I'm gonna be sick. Because they said last year Halloween Kills, that's where they're gonna end it. Now make another one, Halloween Ends.
Well, they
And it's
announced
just,
they was going to make 3, and that was supposed to be it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, and I'll
it's all
finish
good.
what.
That's all I had to say.
there was a report about 5 months ago that they're going to make another Halloween, but it's not going to be Blumhouse, but it's going to pick up from the ending of this movie. But there's going to be characters that's no longer going to be a part of the Halloween franchise that's going to move forward. That was a report and a rumor, but it was never confirmed.
Let me guess. The person who has to talk about is Jamie Lee Curtis.
I mean, they wouldn't confirm names, but how can she come back when Blumhouse is not coming back?
She wanted out. She was complaining that, man, she was reading the script and her name was on every friggin' page, and she was like, "Oh God." So Jamie Lee Curtis was really wanting out of there.
And honestly, in this storyline, Michael Myers is in his 60s and she's in his 60s. They make another one. What are they going to be in their fucking wheelchairs and scooters, filling it out? It's going to be the Boogie Geezer when he's in his 80s almost.
Yeah, I remember the Boston Strangler, Jim. That was pretty good. That was creepier now, and that all true.
Like, I think when I was actually able to watch movies, or my parents felt safe with me watching it, they put something to watch The Shining.
Oh,
They actually gave me nightmares for like 2 days. I don't
Is
know
that
why.
How'd you like Doctor Sleep? Nobody's watched Doctor Sleep. Are you friggin' kidding me?
See, you gotta like send me these things, because I literally I'm gonna be at home for the next like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, next like 6 days.
I got one.
Doctor Sleep was a continuation of The Shining. Okay, it re-added stuff that was in the book, but it really wasn't. Yeah, the book Shining was much scarier than any of the movies. Even Doctor Sleep didn't hit the mark. It was better than the original Shining. Stephen King went to war with the people who did the original Shining.
Jim, I agree.
That's what I'm talking about, referencing right now.
Do you remember it was weird? Like it was like a Disney show or Disney movie that I actually liked. It was a script.
Wait a minute. I got to shut you off. I wasn't done talking. Okay. We had that last week. We're trying to keep control of the show here. It was a continuation of The Shining. It was a little bit. It was more Stephen King, but still not the book. If you ever watch the book The Shining, read the book The Shining, you will see what we're talking about there. I know saying reading to people this day and age is like cutting teeth. It's just, I don't know why it's such a struggle to get you people to read.
So basically, you're saying is Doctor Sleep is like a, what's it called? Like a continuation in a way.
Yeah. It was Stephen King's way of fixing a lot of the mess ups that were in the original, and it didn't quite hit the mark either. I mean, they would have to redo The Shining completely, is what they should have done with Doctor Sleep and let Stephen King's work come through. But then again, when Stephen King writes a book, he don't know when to stop writing, and it goes 1,200 pages and shit, and then you can't cram all that into one movie.
Yeah, like look at it. I mean, there's a lot of scenes, and thankfully there are scenes they didn't put in it that they just didn't have the. There's no way they could, even with 2 movies. There's no way they could put all that in 2 movies.
Let me address this. That's right, Jim. But the flashback parts is where Stephen King was adding back into the original. You know, that's why it really didn't work, I believe.
You know the one Stephen King movie I hated, but people will defend it no matter what? I don't even care what anybody says about it. The Mist is a dumb freaking movie.
What?
It is a dumb. The ending.
What? He gone.
The ending is dumb.
No. The ending is magnificent.
Oh Lord!
To kill your friggin' family. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Let me go do this.
Spoilers. Johnny's about to have a meltdown. Someone called Chernobyl. We're going nuclear.
It was, The Mist was amazing. You had to use your own imagination through that movie. And that's a lot of people. I understand you guys are getting too lazy with everything given to you on the internet and in your movies and all that stuff. You have to use your imagination occasionally, okay? And in the Mist, Stephen King leaves this all the way up to the end, kills his family, and 5 minutes later, here comes the rescue party. What's more horrifying than that?
You got a point. I mean, that's fucking terrifying.
I mean, his wife's damn near already dead, so it's like, what's the point of even surviving that?
Killed his kid, man. Come on. Do you? Well, I was going to say, does anybody here have kids? You can't imagine having to do that, and then 5 minutes later, they rescued. He was put in a position. The Mist was almost a straight ripoff of his own book. Not Cujo. It's kind of the same situational pattern.
I had like mixed opinions on it. It was just the ending that just bothered me.
Okay,
Everything else
so
before that was good.
The Mist, in my opinion, it was fucking awesome.
Jim nailed it, like the original Night of the Living Dead. That's yes. 100%.
That was from the 60s, right, Johnny? The original Night of the Living Dead?
63 or 67, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Actually. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And
I like the 1408 movie. That's the one I really liked.
Oh, yeah. Samuel L. Jackson, The Haunted Hotel Room. That movie was amazing. Yes.
That one I liked. But I can't watch it no more because mostly all you can see is if you have like Fubo TV, Amazon Prime, or Apple TV.
The best way you can find those are like local pawn shops because people pawn them and they just sit there for years and collect dust, and you can get them for like 50 cents.
I would need a ride for that. Can't drive.
Yeah.
I can't drive nowhere.
Well, you're talking about 1408. Let me throw one more movie at you that came about that time period. What about Ghost Ship?
Oh, my dad made me watch that movie.
Especially, Johnny,
Okay.
Johnny, can we have a spoiler thing? Okay, I'm going to talk about something.
Well,
for-
wait,
for a movie.
we got, we have another topic sitting here.
Oh, okay, that's right.
And
My
Ghost
bad.
Ship is also involved in that one, so we might as well wait until we hit that topic.
All right, works for me.
Yep. Did he write that as a Bachman book, Jim? I can't remember. I think he did. One of his Bachman books.
They did such an awesome job putting Samuel L. Jackson in that movie. Perfect.
I think Jim Carrey played in one of those similar type movie roles because once one comes out, there's 5 or 10 copies come out right the same year. People see an easy money tree.
Right.
There's this one movie that's stuck in my head right now. I'm trying to remember. It's like 13 something.
I think Jim Carrey started in one with 708 or something, room 708 or some crap like that. I don't know.
Oh, I got it right.
There was one that Robin Williams was in, and it wasn't Stephen King, and it was called 1 Hour Photo, where he plays as a serial killer as like a Walgreens or something that did people's photos. That movie creeped me the hell out.
What movie? All right, what movie? That we're leaning back into the creep factor again. What movie freaked you out to the point where you had to turn your head?
13 Ghosts.
Really?
Yeah, I watched it when I was 8,
Okay.
so it kind of traumatized me a little bit.
We talking about a scene or just a movie in general?
Well, say the shock factor of it. Which one? Which movie did you see that had the best shock factor, like the jump scenes?
Oh God, that would be. Unfortunately, I hate to say this, and I hate these movies. Paranormal Activity, the second one.
I mean, I would say that only like the only reason why I would ever I jumped with that is because my parents lied to me when I was little and saying that's actually based on a real story. So I was freaked the fuck out.
Me too. The Ring got me too. The one that got me to where I hated jump scenes. I mean, after that, I've watched horror movies all my life, and the one that got me about the jump scenes was Hostel with the Achilles heel, the tendons. When he cut those tendons, man, that. Ugh, I can feel that. I could feel it because they did it nice and slow.
Oh, what's that one I think it's like a Stephen King movie where like the woman like kidnaps the book writer.
Oh, come on, man. Dolores
No,
Claiborne.
is it called? Is it called? Is it
It's called
Mercy?
Dolores Claiborne. Oh yeah, Mercy. My bad.
Only thing that was freaking me out is because when she tied him to
James
the bed
Caan.
and she broke his legs with the hammer or the mallet. That was disgusting. I think it was Mercy.
Yeah, it was. You're right. With James Caan and Kathy Bates. Oh, he's back. Hey, how you
Sorry.
doing, buddy?
Yep. Sorry, I had to step away just for a quick second. All right, what's up? What did I miss?
We were talking about Mercy. When he said it, I thought of Dolores Claiborne for some reason. It jumped in my head, but no,
I'm
it
trying
was
to think of a, besides Paranormal Activity 2, I'm trying to think of a movie just jump scenes that just terrified the shit out of me.
The Thing originally did. John Carpenter's version of The Thing. The original Thing, it was The Thing from Outer Space was originally called.
Actually, no.
Yep, Misery. Uh,
Oh, it's Misery. I
that
think it
one,
was.
that one creeped me out quite a bit because then
Maybe The
it played on
Grudge.
the trust. It played on people's trust with each other, and that was
Oh,
creepy.
that's the movie Misery. The one where she breaks the dude's leg.
What have I been saying?
I thought it was I think it said Mercy.
No,
Oh,
we're
did
not
I say
playing
Mercy?
Overwatch.
My bad.
Cause I was trying to look it up and then I searched it and then I was like, "Yep, that's." I thought because I was looking at the Mercy one. I was like, "Wait a second, that's definitely not the movie I was talking about."
John Carpenter's Thing was awesome, and
Yes.
I like the fact that the remake. I wish they wouldn't have named it the same thing, the Thing, and then you have to look at what date it was. That was retarded and that was bad promotion. But if it had been promoted well, I think that would have been great because it was a prequel. It was a prequel to the Thing, and that for me, I like that movie. I like that movie a lot, and I like the way that it ended with the dog running into that camp where John Carpenter's Thing takes place. It ends right where John Carpenter's movie starts. I liked that. I just wish
Now,
they'd have promoted it correctly and it had a different name.
now, Johnny, was that the one, the remake or the sequel, or whatever you want to look at, a prequel? Is that where they was in Antarctica and they found like it was in a block of ice and they brought it back? Was that the one I'm
That's the
thinking?
original. That's John Carpenter's version.
Yeah, but they made this about maybe 10 years ago, and it was called The Thing, and it was
10
like in a
years ago.
block of ice. I mean, like, look it up. It was like just made not too long ago, and I want to say it was like a
I don't want
creature
to
in
give
a
away
block of
too many
ice.
spoilers for people who haven't actually seen it yet. I know they should have seen it by now. It might have been 10 years ago. I don't know when it came out. I think it was 2000, though. I think it was a lot older. No, maybe
It may
2010.
be, it may be.
I think it was
I
about
mean,
2010, 11 that it came out.
yeah, that would be about if it's 2010 or 11. That would be probably what I'm thinking.
Okay.
What about the movie The Fog?
Which one?
The oh god, I guess the new one.
Adrian Barbeau?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I haven't watched that one.
I actually think Adrian Barbeau was in both the one she was an older person, the newer one she was an older person, and the earlier one she was younger.
The ending of that movie was it had a twist. I don't want to give spoilers, but it was
I didn't like the pirate thing at the end. Was kind of weird. I like the original Fog. It just left a lot of questions unanswered, and that's what you want. You want it,
and then they're going to be making they announced it like last week. They're going to be making a remake of Christine off of Stephen King's the original Christine.
hold
What
on
is
now.
your
Jim, the original was called The Thing from Outer Space, I think. Let me look this up because it had the guy who plays the guy who played the Thing in it was oh, what's his damn name? the guy from Gunsmoke, Marshall, whatever the hell his name is, from Gunsmoke, Arnest, and this is like the third. What we're talking about now is like the third one, which is a prequel. What is that noise?
So,
My phone.
Oh, well, shh.
yeah. Stop checking off. Do it.
You are not entirely meant. But never mind. Where was I at? Oh, never mind. Yeah, James Arnest. Thank you. Yeah, the last one made was starring a woman starred in it. I can't remember her name. If I had the information in front of me, I could do a lot better. To around 2010 or 2011, sometime like that, Jim. And it was called identically Thing, just
Mhm.
like the original, and which was the dumbest thing any motion picture company could come up with to put out there. It wasn't a remake; it was a prequel. If it had been a remake, then the title would have made sense. But this one, they screwed the pooch on that one, man.
Kind of like Halloween 2018. That was supposed to be the sequel from the original Halloween from the 70s.
But if you haven't seen it, check it out. You have to look up the date on it because they'll screw you up or that because the title is exactly the same. It's called The Thing,
Mhm.
and it is a prequel to The Thing where you know it ends exactly where John Carpenter's version begins, right in the same spot, exact same spot. And that I like the way they tied that fluidly in like that. If you took so much time making the movie that fluid, why didn't you make a different name for it? That's a pet peeve of mine, man, because a lot of people didn't even watch it because of that. It's hard to find just because of that, because every time you type in The Thing, the John Carpenter version comes up.
Yeah, it's like you type in a thing, you get like 3 different movies. Hey, Ben, what's up, man?
Hey, Marty, what's going on? Johnny?
Oh, hey.
Oh, my God. Is that the ghost of Pink Flute Past? Who is that? Oh.
You said to bring it. You said to bring it. So
No,
I said he couldn't come on the show if he didn't have it, man.
sorry. Rules are rules.
Yeah, all right. How you doing, Alec?
Doing good. You know, recovering still. I'm like a
Hey,
still
John,
potato.
how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing okay there, man.
Yeah, man.
Hope you enjoy this show, John.
Yeah.
Now you gotta ask Ben's opinion on that one.
On what?
The movie that made you jump, or like the shock factor.
Oh, Halloween, the very first one when I was a little kid. I mean,
Oh,
the
we
fact
did have a
that
lot of jump sequences in it. Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that for the first time in like Halloween movie history, you saw just the face, just stand there and not do anything, following somebody.
Well, it's
That
the
was
the
first
creep
time
factor
in
that.
Halloween movie history that you saw the bad guy in the daytime.
Yeah, that too.
Mhm.
And that was, I mean,
now it's just comedy because you see how everybody's death is just situation where they could just avoid the whole thing, but they just get themselves stuck in that situation.
yep.
Even though
Hey,
I
Ben, I
hope
got
this Halloween movie is good. I hope Halloween ends is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same
What's up,
here.
Marty?
Ben, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Which thing would you prefer, Jaws or the John Carpenter Halloween?
Oh, the
Theme.
Halloween
Theme song.
theme
Talking
song.
Mhm.
Halloween.
Mhm.
Which one had the biggest impact in the world?
Halloween.
Dun 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 dun. I go Jaws all day long because you cannot find a 5-year-old kid that don't know that song. That dun and he can walk around going dun dun.
Yeah.
Whereas
Sure.
they can't go.
But I mean, was
I
Jaws
can't
really
even
like
do.
a
Look,
scary
that
movie
tells you
though?
right
I
there.
mean,
I can't even do that theme song from Halloween with my mouth, but I can definitely do it with Jaws. You sound like the Vegas Strip opening.
Shut up. Shut up, Johnny.
I honestly didn't know that the Jason thing, like one that Johnny told me about, how they made that like off like out of nowhere just
Yeah,
by
like
making that missing the beats. I did not know that.
yeah, they were editing and they just screwing up a little bit with the editing machine, and they got that sound from the woman who was
I heard something about that. Yeah, somebody explained that in the
and
past.
that just came about, man.
Oh yeah, sometimes the greatest stuff just happens. You just
Yeah.
out of nowhere. Like
That and the Freddy Krueger one, I like. Where it says one that had like the little countdown thing, like the little.
oh
Freddy.
yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
With the
Oh
girls roping and
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
the children jump roping. Yeah, it's pretty good.
What
But I
about
always
anybody?
said last week Freddy was a comedic character though.
Mm-hmm.
We
Didn't
just
scare
were talking about the Fog. The Fog, the original, they had a good theme song too. I forgot about that, man.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever seen The Fog.
It's actually the new one's really good. The remake
Mm.
is.
Jim, that's my favorite. I get bitched at a lot by my nephews and people about that. Oh, it's Army of Darkness. And it's Evil Dead 2 is the best, which was a remake. So we can put that in the remake pile. Yeah, but Army of Darkness 3 was my favorite, man. I laughed my butt off on that shit. I did. That's what made Bruce Campbell, man.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Doctor Sleep, Ben?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, dang, so he saw it too. So now
was
I'm really
okay.
behind.
He was okay.
If Ben's seen it, then you are way behind, dude. Because Ben's not really into this stuff like that.
Well, I did see Black Phone. That was a really good one.
That was a good movie, yeah. That was very suspenseful.
Yes.
And it had the Halloween element to it because it had ghosts in it.
Well, it kind of had a mix of Halloween and It. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With those balloons coming out of the van.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I like it. And Ethan Hawke was great in that. He scared. You know what I mean? He scared you.
I don't think there's an Ethan Hawke movie that I really hated.
No,
He's
a
not
good
like the greatest actor in the world to me, but
No.
he's that guy that's steady and true. You know what I mean?
Well, his daughter's in Stranger Things. She's one of
Really?
Yeah. You know, the guy that was hanging out
Is
with
Trick
Steve,
or Treat with the little stuff
What's
thing?
up, Super John?
no, she's the one that worked with the ice cream parlor with Steve.
No, I'm talking about like this comment. I was trying to. It's like stuck in my head now.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the little freaking sock puppet thing that like somehow kills everybody?
Trick or Treat is a classic horror movie, man. What are you talking
Yeah, but I was like, is it like the one with like the little? It's like a little sock puppet thing. I'm about to look this shit up now. I think I've seen it before, so that's what I'm trying to see.
Okay, let's go around the block. Marty, have you seen Trick or Treat?
If
Oh, I know,
I
I
have,
did
it's
see
been
this
a
movie.
very long time. It rings a bell, but I
Ben?
probably don't remember.
Ben?
Same.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, I watched it because now I see what like it's the little sock puppet looking thing.
We don't want to talk about your sock puppet in public.
No, that's what it looks like. It looks like a little sock puppet thing.
Keep it in the messenger.
That's your homework for tonight, man. Go find Trick or Treat and watch it because they're fixing to come out with another one.
Really?
Okay, is it on any streaming service right now? Or
I'm sure it is. It's one of those movies that's everywhere, dude.
Let me see.
Trick or Treat, I'll check it out.
The actual Exorcist Tubular Bells, excuse me.
Do you have Fubu TV?
Theme. Yes, I agree with that, Jim. They do.
Yeah,
That's why when he said Exorcist earlier, I was having a hard time with that in Jaws.
Oh, to Ben's question, it's on Fubu, Apple TV for $3.99, Amazon Prime for $2.99, or if you have like some kind of like Vegas Hitman connections, you can watch it free.
They don't watch movies. They got to work 24/7. They don't have time for movies.
All right,
I don't know why they gave Dahmer 8.2 out of 10.
Wait a minute. You are stuck on Dahmer, aren't you?
Because that show was freaking weird. I would have given it a 6 out of 10. It was inaccurate. I would give it a 6 out of 10.
Were you there?
No, it was like if you look at like the facts that came out from the whole thing, half of that shit wasn't true.
Jason left, but he'd like to talk to you if you were there.
Nope, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Well, I have a movie. I want to ask the round table here if they've actually watched. I think it was in the mid 2000s. One Missed Call.
One Missed Call. I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it.
Well, I heard of it and I didn't watch it on purpose because it was in that era. I was like done with them things, man.
Yeah, it's like if you missed it has a very unique, weird ringtone. If you do not answer the phone, you have 24 hours to live, or less than that, and you're going to die.
Oh,
It-
okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah, it has a
They were
very
trying to
weird.
cash in on the Ring success, and the Ring
Mhm.
was a remake itself, from the the Japanese movie. Another one that was great in the United States, Let Them In,
Mhm.
was another remake from what's the Japanese? I think it was Italian movie that was really good. And oh, there we go. See, I knew it. And Alec called Jason back.
Wow.
But Let Them In, Let Me In was a remake of an Italian movie, I believe it was, and
Mm.
it did really well here. But people try to rip them off constantly. And Let Me In, one of the best movies I've ever seen too, and also the American version too. Usually the American version doesn't stand up. The Ring and Let Me In stood up to their originals very well.
Okay.
I've yet to watch it, so I do not know.
Let Me In is about a young vampire girl
Mhm.
who kind of has a relationship with this boy.
Okay.
She's old, okay, but she's young in the body, and she goes and she becomes this boy's defender. Anytime somebody messes with him, bullies mess with him or something, they're in trouble. So that definitely catch that movie. It's very well done.
Okay.
I got one more that's actually I want to recommend. That's really good. Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp. That's a really good movie.
Wait a minute, you recommended that movie last week
Did I mention Sleepy Hollow?
100 times.
Okay, I didn't remember. My old
Okay,
age.
it is official. Marty loves Sleepy Hollow, and I do too. By the way, I'm not knocking on him.
I'm
Good
not
movie.
saying I love the Headless Horseman in the story, but I'm just saying $20 is $20.
I don't know. I was more of an Edward Scissorhands fan than Sleepy Hollow, though. That's just me.
Personally, I'm with Marty on this. I like Sleepy Hollow, man.
No, it's good. I just
Even the Disney Sleepy Hollow was awesome.
What the
Right.
animated Ichabod Crane thing?
Mm-hmm.
This is a question for all three. Is it true they're making another Jeepers Creepers movie?
Probably. I don't know. I haven't seen the official site yet, but yeah, probably. If actually, I have heard some rumors about that, but
Apparently, it says here that's coming out, but I don't believe. Like, it keeps saying that got released this in September, but I haven't seen
3 or
anything for
4
it.
because I'm pretty sure there's already a third one.
I
Is there
think it.
I thought there was 2 of them.
Well, I'm
Wait, it
pretty
says
sure
Jeepers Creepers Reborn is already available on HBO Max.
Yeah, I was about to say it's already out. There's already reviews about it,
Yeah.
and I heard it. What reviews I watched was like mixed reviews. That's yeah.
Well, you got mixed reviews on the original too, so don't worry about that. Just judge by your. That's one of my recommendations to everybody listening, and everybody who's going to listen, or anybody that ever sees this whatsoever. Make your own judgments. Don't listen to reviews. Don't listen
Oh
to
no, I
don't
hardly
listen
ever
to
do,
us. Review boards are just Rotten Tomatoes is it's just their ratings are just whatever.
man.
Make
I
your
mean,
own judgment. Go enjoy a movie. Just enjoy it. Don't worry
Yeah.
about
I mean,
stuff.
the day I learned that Rotten Tomatoes has bad judgment is when they had the Transformers movie come out. I watched that and I thought it was good and it was
Well, see,
amazing.
you can't say bad judgment because it's their opinions.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Well,
have
like,
to form your
or
own opinion.
or their own opinion. I meant.
Yeah.
Because I watched it, it was amazing, and it's Rotten Tomatoes gave it like a 3, something like that. I was like, that was a good movie.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was like,
I forgot about
There's
that one.
3 ones.
They made a third Exorcist.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
they
Before she
did.
Scott.
Goodness, when you learn
Patton
something every
himself.
day.
Patton himself.
I liked all the Omens movies.
Yeah, the
Omen 2
remake
was,
was
I
actually
think,
pretty good.
Omen 2 was the best of the 3.
Yeah.
I
I
like
still like them
Omen
all
2 the
though. I
best.
mean, they're pretty good.
But then I really was not wanting to like The Omen because I thought it was just a blatant ripoff of The Exorcist. You know what I mean?
how do
You
you
think
feel about
so?
Once I watched it, I enjoyed it, but when it came out,
I
oh
don't know.
great!
I
Oh,
just like
here we
when
go.
kids have that evil inside of them. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. It's just something
Oh,
different about a kid being evil more than an adult. Like
there's a movie just popped in my head that was talking about, and we didn't mention it last week, and we haven't mentioned it this week, and no one in the chat. Stephen King, I believe I'm going to try to pronounce this correctly. Children of the Corn.
Oh,
movie.
Nobody has mentioned that in the
Wait,
last
was that
2
hard to
weeks.
pronounce?
I mean, I'm from the
Want to
South,
build the
man.
suspense.
Like,
Build the
come
suspense.
on.
I was
Yeah,
waiting for some Ezekiel crap, whatever from hell.
no,
And
I
he
have
comes up
trouble
with
saying children, so I
children of the
try to.
corn.
Children of the Corn.
Which
No one has.
one? There's only
You
like
scared
20.
Alec, Marty. You scared Alec. Look, see, he's on the
Hell.
floor.
Hellfest.
oh, it's
Hellfest.
me being crippled.
Hellfest.
Yeah, no
That one
one's
I haven't
actually.
seen. I
Uh,
think I've heard
yeah.
there's like 3 of those, aren't there? John?
I think there's 3.
Maybe I'm just saying that because of the exclamation marks.
I'm not sure if you guys brought this movie up last week, but I just watched it last night, even though it's been old. The Blair Witch Project.
Oh God.
That movie was just I try to see why everybody was talking about it. I'm like I wasn't really that interested in it.
Overrated, dude.
They
Yeah,
made a
looking at-
second one apparently.
Sorry, I didn't like it.
Paranormal Activity is way better.
Yeah,
Paranormal. I can't watch paranormal. I can't watch point of view footage. I
Have you
like.
seen the new one?
No, I haven't. I like.
Is that the one that was in the Amish village?
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
These fuckers.
Oh God.
My
A
bad.
demonic Amish person. Yeah.
Marty, why are you talking about?
The
like
Blair
that?
Witch. The Blair Witch story. The real story. It's in somewhere in Kentucky, and is it Kentucky or Virginia? It's right there on the border anyway, because the Blair Witch Cave is right there. But that story is the same story as the American Haunting. It's about the same person.
Right, they go in the woods with the video camera and try to, I don't know. It just seemed like kids trying to make a scary movie, and it just didn't turn out very well. That's what the Blair Witch.
Jim, you are not missing anything.
Yeah.
Oh, hey Marty, how far are you? I know this is off topic, but this is the actual.
Oh, off topic, off out.
Oh no, it's an actual scary place. It's an actual scary place.
Okay, places will work.
So it's while we were in Alabama, right? There's this hotel that was haunted. It's supposedly haunted. So I was like, you know what? I was like, let me go see the so-called haunted hotel. And I guess that's if you're there from if you leave before within 4 hours, you don't gotta pay for the hotel. It's free. So we went there. I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm pretty sure I can last 4 hours. I went in there. I put my bag down. Went to the bathroom. I was in the room by myself. I came back. My bag was gone. Door was locked and everything. Came back. The room was bag was gone. And then I saw I was looking at the picture frame, and it's the face changed. I was like, okay, now it's all this is probably some kind of little special effects thing. And then I was sitting on the bed. And apparently, the bed moved 4 feet. I was like, okay, I'm getting out of here. Y'all, no, I'm leaving.
I don't know how.
I was leaving. It's probably the most haunted houses in the world.
We're going to throw our things on the table and measure, I guess, because you know where I live, right?
In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what's really close to me within a couple hours drive?
Where?
Penn State Penitentiary.
Oh.
Also Penn Asylum. And both of those have been documented as 2 of the scariest places ever to walk into.
How scary compared to Alcatraz?
10 times, I think. Marty, you've watched Taps, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm quite sure you've seen the Penn Asylum and the Penn State Penitentiary.
From Ghost Adventures, from BuzzFeed Unsolved, and Taps. I've watched them all. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, and we also have Centralia. So, boom.
Oh, Centralia. Oh, Oh shit! I need to go up there and do a ghost hunt. Johnny, you're gonna stand in front of me, so if anybody jump scares, you're gonna be my shield.
I love Centralia. I wish they wouldn't have covered up the graffiti highway there, but Centralia, if you don't know, if you've never seen Silent Hill is that the place they're at is based on Centralia. It was filmed there actually.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Centralia, Pennsylvania. It's a town. It was a very well run town. Had a lot of money coming in because of the coal mining there. The coal mines underneath the town caught fire, and it still burns to this day, and that's been over 80 years.
Yeah. Fuck Silent Hill. I mean, shit. Did I say that? Did I say that?
Jim,
Oh, shit.
let me get to Jim real quick. Jim, the Blair Witch. If you remember the American Haunting, the movie The American Haunting, and there is a true story. I can't remember what the book was called. I will have to brush up on that before you get on and school me. But the American Haunting was a true story about this witch that lived in Tennessee or Kentucky or wherever it was. It's actually Kentucky, I think it is, but it's right on the border there somewhere. Anyhow, they had a cave and stuff. It's a real creepy story. It was actually based on true event, documented events. So that's where all that crap started from. Ma Bell, I think the witch's name was Ma Bell or some crap like that.
But if you want that hotel name, go to the Malaga Inn in Mobile. I'll never step foot on that property ever again. That player,
I gotta put him up there. I gotta put him up there for a minute.
What? Flare.
Lord.
I got a bad feeling that Jason watches this show in the nude.
Johnny, you shouldn't have said that. Now we're getting a comment. Oh, God.
Oh,
Here it comes.
yeah. You opened up a can of worms, buddy.
Oh,
Yes,
Jason, I don't know
you
if
did.
Jason, I don't know if you've met Alec yet, but he is a Navy guy.
oh God, don't do that shit.
Oh no!
In the Navy.
Oh shit!
I'm a
now it's
crippled
really
person.
God.
Oh, that makes it even better or worse.
Can't
the
get
way
away
you
from
look
him
at it.
now.
Like, come here, boy. You can't run from me now.
I'll
Gonna
show
sound
you
like
some
Mr.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
He's
Hey,
gonna walk
sweetie.
into his room here in a second. Let's sound like Mr. Herbert. Get your fat ass over here, boy.
Give me some of that white meat. Who's that in the background?
It's Marty's dog talking to him.
Oh shit! Well, it is Halloween.
He had Nikita on during the pre-show. Anyhow, okay, speaking of dogs, well, we discussed Cujo last week. That's still, to me, that is such a creepy-ass movie.
Yeah. Well, what do you think's better, Cujo or Pet Sematary? The original Stephen King one. What was scarier? Like
scarier? Cujo to me. Pet
Cujo?
Sematary, I was like, a lot of that movie I laughed about. Okay?
You did? Okay.
The death of the kid was so expected. I read the books. The books are always, with Stephen King, the books are so much better.
Yeah.
But,
I agree.
I will debate that one. Well, no, wait a minute. You're talking about you said the book, so I'm not going to debate that.
Oh no, the books. I mean, you're right. They're way better than
the movie wise. I thought Cujo was the shit, man, because that is a realistic situation that any person can be in.
True.
And to watch that kid die like that, man. Ugh. Oh, wait a minute. Shh. Big mouth. Sorry, big ball. The kid dies at the end.
Oh, look at who's that?
That is Nikita, the wolf husky. Yeah.
Nice.
That is the wolf. That's the one that talks.
That reminds me, we can start talking some werewolf movies. I was wanting to get onto this anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Good one, Jim. Good one. Oh, oh, Jesus, Jason, I don't want to even put that comment up.
Why do I want to
Let's
look at it?
Put it up.
since he brought Nikita up there, we can start talking about some werewolf movies. Has everybody here yet seen Werewolf by Night on
Not
Disney?
not yet.
Good God, man, what is wrong with you?
Oh, I am sorry. We got to work. Okay.
At 45
We gotta
minutes,
leave.
you spend 45 minutes in the bathroom thinking about Jason.
Oh wow!
Oh, his
Oh,
comments
my
are going to be
God.
coming up again.
Oh, it's going to be a raging storm here in a
Oh, my
second.
God. Yeah.
Okay, man, you got to. I can't even go into my thing without you seeing it. See, I
Oh,
just
Jason's texting someone.
Yeah.
you say that's Jason.
Yeah, I was like, someone's phone when I was like, it's Jason text. Oh, he's texting Johnny.
So that's Jason. He's gonna get you. Boy, is he gonna get you? Marty just called you Jason. Oh, that's great.
I'm dead.
Okay, man. Werewolf by Night. Werewolf. I'll try to go through this without giving too many spoilers away. You have to say, Jim, have you seen Werewolf by Night yet on Disney Plus?
Sorry, there's only enough
Hey,
room
Johnny.
for
Look at
a
you
wolf
started.
right now.
We said one dog at a time.
Oh, dear Jesus.
Oh,
Excuse me
Christ,
while I go
man.
check on
Hold
that
on,
the
hold
roof
on,
and see if there's a
hold on.
leak and may jump off.
Okay, all right. Everybody here understands that there's a relationship between Universal Studios and Marvel, right?
Mhm.
Okay. What I love the most about Werewolf by Night is they went noir in it. You know, they did the old black and white. They did it so classy. It was pathetic. I can't give too many spoilers away, but the title Werewolf by Night, I guess I can't spoil anything by saying there's a werewolf in it. All right.
No, really?
Oh,
Nikita,
it,
there's not enough room.
the premise, the story was pretty good. The little twist was expected.
God.
It wasn't that
Yeah.
big of a twist, but it was a very fun show and a lot more violent than you would think from something coming from Disney. Okay.
Okay.
They are going to do more of these. Universal in 2014 gave Marvel their monsters.
Hmm.
Wolfman,
Yeah.
the Creature from the Black Lagoon, all of them. The Mummy, Dracula. Marvel has those monsters. They started to do the Dark Marvel universe
Yeah.
to entwine the Marvel characters with the DC with the Universal characters, and what they did, they made what was the name of that Dracula movie? The last
Van Helsing?
No. You see Dracula's point of view. It starts with him young.
Mhm.
He has to fight the other people. What the hell? I think it's just called Dracula, actually. Dracula Unborn or whatever. Jesus, let me look this up. You guys can talk among yourselves. Let me get this facts straight here.
You doing okay, Marty?
I'm doing great. How about you, Ben?
Well, you're just like coughing up a lung there for a minute.
I still got some
Oh, man.
issues going on with my
Okay,
lungs.
it's called Dracula Untold.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, I didn't see this.
Dracula Untold. That's on Disney Plus.
Oh my God, they're coming up. No, Dracula Untold was a movie that came out around. It was sometime after Marvel and Universal had this connection that Universal gave them all the Dracula stuff.
Okay.
And I'm looking this up. This came out 10 months ago, but There is a Dracula Untold Part 2 coming out with Luke Evans and Dominic Cooper.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I'll check that Werewolf by Night out. Definitely put that on the list.
Yeah, well, anyhow, that's part of the Disney Dark series, and they are already making more of those shorts for Disney Plus channel. Okay, they're specials. They're not tied into anything like that.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, Dracula Untold, Jim. If you saw it, you know that was a really good movie. And that was, I can't remember the year it came out, but it came out. We was expecting a lot more of them, and then it just kind of fizzled away. So now they're reviving that and I think what Werewolf by Night does is bring that back into the fold. So you're going to see a lot more of these, and if they're all done as well as Dracula Untold and Werewolf by Night has been, then it's going. I'll actually drop the link to the Dracula Untold Part 2 trailer right here in the chat.
Okay.
So you guys can check that out.
Cool.
They're a little gift from us.
Okay, now it feels like Alex on the show. He's quiet.
I was trying to help somebody out.
Oh.
Jason? Trying to help Jason?
No. That's Ben's job.
Oh.
Not my job. I mean, he did want to sit in your lap, so I mean.
I've got two huskies here, and I'm not interested in that. So, Nikita, what?
So that link is in the chat, except on my page for some friggin' reason. It's not wanting to come up.
I got two links: your page and entertainment reviews.
Well, anyhow, they're there, so you guys can click on that, and you'll see the trailer for Dracula Untold #2. That's a little special gift from us. We didn't even know we were giving it out.
Well, thank you.
It's been out for 10 months, but whatever.
Right.
I guess
it's there.
I'm going to have to look into that more and see if the movies when the movie's actually coming out. Hold on, I gotta reload. Give me a second.
Okay, so that interruption was brought to you by Facebook and StreamYard. We want to thank you for putting up with us tonight. There he is. Welcome back.
There. Jesus. All that stuttering.
Old age.
Psycho 1998. Best or worst?
Oh, is that the one of Christian Bale?
I think
Vince
Psycho
Vaughn.
being remade was a travesty myself.
Oh, that was the one with Vince Vaughn, right?
Probably was. I
The one
did.
of Chri-
It was a blur to me because you can't remake, and they tried to do it scene for scene, the exact same as the original, and you just can't do that. That whole idea of remaking a movie should be enhancing that movie and keeping it more modern, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Just leave Psycho alone, okay? Anthony Perkins, let that classic stand as it is, okay?
Was that the what about the one of was Christian Bale? Was he was in? Unless he was, which one am I thinking about Christian Bale was in that was in the horror movie? Was it Psycho?
No, that was Vince Vaughn. I don't know which.
Mr. Fingers, how we doing tonight, buddy?
I would like to play a game. Would you like to play a game?
Jason would.
French fried potatoes. You want to see my Kaiser blade?
Ouch. This whole crippled life is not fun.
Mr. Anthony Handy, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I am the hell well, sir. How the hell are you?
I see that you have arrived.
Good evening, fellas. I'm sorry. I have got a year-long standing Tuesday night show, NFL show.
Yeah,
So
I know.
We just finished up. So hey,
No apologies. No apologies needed. Good
None
show, by the way.
whatsoever.
So what was the topic when I came in? I missed.
We're just basically we're trying to go over. Well, where are we at right now, Marty? I have lost
Oh,
track.
Dracula Untold. Hold on a second.
I guess talking about remakes
Oh,
from the old to new.
okay.
Dracula Untold was the business. Is that the one? Is that the one where he the monster lived in the cave?
Yeah.
And he let him do. Yes.
Some background. What we were actually talking about with Dracula Untold is the Marvel and Disney Marvel Universal connection, and how in 2014 Universal just gave Marvel all their monsters, and that was part of the Marvel Dark series. Dracula Untold was actually one of the first of the Marvel Dark series, and then now that Werewolf by Night has come out on Disney Plus, and you probably haven't seen it either, have you, Anthony?
Uh,
No.
I don't have Disney. I don't have any Disney streaming services.
Okay, well you're missing it, dude, because that movie is amazing,
Oh, is that
and it's
word?
it's a lot more violent than you will assume. I know people see Disney and they think of Ken and Barbie dolls with no body parts, but that's not what you get with Marvel. And that Werewolf by Night is a revigoration of that Disney Marvel Dark. And as I was looking it up, we came up with Dracula Untold. Is that trailer for Dracula Untold 2?
What is the second one?
Yes.
I wondered if they were going to do that because the ending for the first one set it up for just a perfect transition.
It did. It actually did. Yes.
My name is Dracula.
Yeah, that's the first time he ever even says that at the end of the movie. There. Yeah.
Yeah, I got turned on to that because I've got a homeboy of mine who's totally like a vampire fanatic for days. He will see any vampire movie. Grown ass man. He said I went and sat through all of those horrible the Twilight trilogy just because they were vampire movies because he loves them that much. And he can quote True Blood just like I can quote Coming to America all day, any day. And he turned me on to this, and I was like, I'll check it out. And I was like, yo, dope, 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 dope.
I was pretty heavy into the Anne Rice books, man, for a while there.
Oh yeah, I don't. Did they ever really do a decent on screen version of? Well, no, the first one was decent. The Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt.
Yeah, the one that was supposed to be the fake, as far as her books go, the interview with the vampire, it was supposed to be in the sequel. Lestat is where she says no, all that was crap. So none of that happened. He was a little wimp, and he just quit. And they picked the perfect person, in my opinion, to play that guy. Tom Cruise played that well.
Yes. Yes. I think there was nothing. There was one of the saddest scenes in a horror movie ever. There's Kirsten Dunst and when they exposed him to the sunlight. Like
Yeah.
you don't. Yeah, I mean, you generally don't get a lot of sad scenes. Another powerful scene, Dracula Untold, when he's trying to keep his woman from falling to her death, and he just can't catch her.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a gripping scene right there.
So am I all caught up?
You're all caught up now, sir.
Caught up, got me feeling it. Caught up. Don't know what it is, but it seems she got me twisted. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Okay.
Where was what was supposed to be the follow up there, Marty?
We was talking about Psycho.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. That was my rant. I'm sorry. I'm done with that rant.
Okay, then I don't know what's going to be after Psycho. That's what we was in the middle of. Was
Well, I think we'll start with the remakes. Let's go with the remakes. We haven't done that. We should the worst remakes you can think of. I've got a list of remakes from other people, but I disagree with some of them. I don't disagree with some of them. Whatever. Let's hear your ideas of what's the worst remakes ever.
me.
And you know mine. I just went off on it. Psycho. Don't remake Anthony Perkins. That classic needs to be left the hell alone.
Oh God, remakes. The Rob Zombie Halloween. Both of them.
Good, bad. Because I like
Horrible.
I see that's where you get that's why I say don't go by anybody else's opinion. Use your own
I
opinion.
watched.
I
No,
love that.
I had them on Blu-ray, and as a Michael Myers fan, I hate it. I liked the first one. I didn't totally hate it, but it was different. But the second Halloween 2, Rob Zombie, I hated it, especially the ending. It needed to be burnt before it even got put on the picture screen. It was horrible.
I got one for you.
So,
And I want to ask everybody else's opinion. What did you think of the reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street with Jackie Earl Haley?
Never saw it.
ooh, it
Never saw it.
was more boring. It wasn't terrible. It's just boring.
I was kind of on it because even though it got campy, there was no way that Robert England, that anybody
Alec, is
other
that
than Robert
wait,
England.
sorry to interrupt. Alec, is that you picking at something? Quit. Leave your cast alone, dude. Stop.
I don't have a cast. That wasn't me.
It was you because as soon as you said Alec, it stopped.
That wasn't me though.
I think he might be typing on his phone, and you can hear
He's tapping on something, man.
I have nothing in my possession. My laptop is over there, shut.
What is your foot doing? Laying up on the table next to your
It's leverage on a pillow right now because I have to keep it elevated.
All right.
Well, he said it wasn't me. He said it wasn't me quicker than Shaggy in 2000.
He did, didn't he?
Okay, you got the woman access to your villa.
Next time I'm muting
I
everybody.
can only do so much. I'm crippled for another 2 months. So I mean,
And Jim Melvin, you mentioned Jaws 2. I will see your Jaws 2 and I will raise you Jaws 3D. If that was a god awful movie ever. I mean, the only saving grace about that movie was it had a Quaid brother and it had Louis Gossett Jr. in it, and that was it.
Come on, man. Jaws in Bahamas, that was ridiculous.
Oh, they got even dumber after that one. I was like,
do you know what I thought? The remake I think
Deep Blue Sea was a better. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Alec. Deep Blue Sea was a better shark movie than Jaws 3 and 4.
Yes.
100%, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for mine, it would have to be the Final Destination.
The what?
Final Destination.
Oh, Final Destination. I thought he said something about
After like the second one, it just got annoying after that.
Okay, I got one. The Poltergeist remake in 2014 or 2015.
Yeah, 2015.
Where all she did was run around going, Carol Ann, every. Oh my freaking God!
The
I
acting
was
was
sick of that,
terrible.
man.
The little girl was terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It turned me off. Right, I didn't even finish the movie. I was like,
"Wait, what's Poltergeist about?" I've heard it, but I don't think I really watched it.
I'll take this
goes
one.
through a TV. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'll take this one. These people move into this brand new house in this big prestigious neighborhood, and they start to have these supernatural events happen, and their daughter gets sucked into a TV set, and they find out that the house was buried on an ancient burial ground, and all sorts of shenanigans ensue. And the only reason that I didn't mean to step on you, Ben, the only reason I took it is because I wanted to go back and talk up to the first Poltergeist. I remember when we got remember back in the day when they used to give out the free trials of HBO, those of you that are old enough to remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You get the free trials of HBO. Well, the thing that convinced my parents to finally buy HBO was the weekend that we had the free trial, Poltergeist was on. And it was also the premiere of Poltergeist on HBO. And so we're sitting there and we're watching the jump scares and the doll in the chair and the steak with the maggots coming out of it, the dude picking his face apart. Like that whole movie was, now looking at it now, it's cheesy. But when I watched it as a kid, I was like, yo, like for real, yo. Like, that was part, even at, 16, 17, I was like, I can't watch that. It was 100% a classic. And
that's how I felt about 13 Ghosts.
It should have been left right where it was.
Yeah, I agree.
I felt that same opinion about the 13 Ghosts.
I have not seen that one.
I mean, now if you watch it, it's gonna be cheesy, but like back then, I couldn't sleep for 2 nights because of that movie. And The Shining.
The original Shining.
Yeah, the original one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked about that one last week, didn't we?
Yeah, but he wasn't here.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that original was all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
I'm gonna interrupt here for a second just to do a little public service announcement. Next week, Mr. Jim Melvin, who is in our chat right now, author of Black Fortress and the Death Wizard Chronicles, will be a special guest on our show. We're going to be discussing
Wait a
books,
second.
books to movies, movies to books, so on and so forth.
What? Okay. I need a link. Somebody need to hit me in the inbox with a link. I'm checking out Jim Melvin's books right now. Y'all didn't tell me y'all had literary royalty in the comment section.
Oh, he is one of the best. That series is great. Let me see if I can. Jim, you got a link to that? If not, I can find it. I'm pretty sure. Why am I copying StreamYard?
Technology. It's great.
Nextology.
Anything can happen on live TV.
Hey, Jim, if you need a great voiceover guy for television commercials, I might happen to know a baritone. Anyway,
here you go. I'll drop this right here in the chat.
Dun, dun.
If I can get back to StreamYard again. Here we go. I got it, Jim. Trust me. I got you back, bro.
Wow, both at the same time. Da-da-da-da-da. So here's the question. I know we talked about that last week. I think I asked that question last week. Somebody last week.
Okay, where we at?
I think we were talking about the Poltergeist, and I was getting ready to talk about, since we're talking about remakes, like, what is it? I mean, other than just the sheer thought of a flat out cash grab, what is the driving force behind, like, lately everything is reboot? I mean, there's a reboot everywhere. We got a new Halloween coming out this year.
Not a reboot though.
I mean, it's not a reboot, but we got a new Halloween.
It's actually finishing a trilogy. This new one, so finishing off the trilogy. They're copying Star Wars platform.
Like, everything's either getting a reboot, or they're either rebooting it, or they're doing excessive sequels. Like, if I had to go back, and I'm overlooking tons and tons and tons of movies I watched, the last for me, and I'm going way back, Back to the Future, maybe. And this is not even a horror movie. Back to the Future. I loved 1. 2 was a little slow, but it was still entertaining enough for me. And then they tied the whole thing up in a nice little bow in part 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even with Superman with Christopher Reeve, the first one was great. The second one was phenomenal. The third one was and the fourth, they should have quit after 2. 3 and 4 were
I'm of a different opinion of that. The one starting with the Man of Steel, those were my favorites. I wasn't a big Christopher Reeve Superman fan. I mean, he was just too goody-goody.
Well, that's what he was. That's what he was. He stood for truth, justice, and the American way.
Yeah, well, you can do that without being such a Boy Scout. And
exactly.
Who lives in America that's that much of a Boy Scout?
Superman.
No, I don't.
That's why he doesn't get laid.
Well, he did. He did in part 2.
Oh, Lois Lane, yeah.
He had to give up.
I was waiting for
he had to give
somebody
up his
to suggest
superpower.
him. The other
He's a fucking Boy Scout. Came and cussing a Marvel movie. Language. No, I tell you,
we do. We have. And wait a minute, I got to do this real quick. Oh, for God's sakes! If you have watched any of the She-Hulks, you'll know that Captain America did get laid, so he's ahead of the curve.
he probably paid for it.
With Tony's
Still got
credit
laid.
card. It's like the Lonely Island said, doesn't matter, had sex.
He got all right. Remember the original Captain America movie, the one that first started out in the Marvel Universe? It turns out that girl that came up to him and was trying to get him laid when what's her name came around the corner. That's the girl he got laid with.
He got laid with a hoe. That's interesting. A 1940s hoe.
She wasn't a host. She was working for the U.S. military.
She was a military. Well, not.
What's it?
Well, I
What?
mean, there's I'm gonna keep I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself about that because there's a lot of hoes, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Bruh.
Once they deploy, the ring comes off.
How do you like that? He says, "I'm going to keep my mouth shut" after he says what he's going to say.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going in depth. I'm
They
not going to go
call
in depth of what happens, but that's just the synopsis of that gone.
All right, back to the reboots.
I
I have a separate opinion, but I don't disagree with you, Anthony. But I think some movies need remade because they're so good, and if they'd have had the graphics and the artwork and the stuff that we have today, it would improve them. If they don't screw up the storylines.
That's the key part, right? That part right there, Skip Bayless. That's the part. As long as you don't mess with the rest of the storyline, you can talk about it and you can come back and reboot everything. Just it don't have to be word for word like the exact script. I got to get out the Shannon Sharp. This in the sports show. It doesn't have to be word for word the exact script, but the reboots, if you take everything from the story, it's just, And then you got to have the right people to act the part. It's not enough for them to look exactly like the actor. Like, remember Superman Returns? They went and got Brandon Ruth because he looks so much like Christopher Reeve, and his wife approved of him as an actor, and he had about as much acting skill as an 8-week-old pancake.
Yeah, and then got relegated to being Adam on the CW.
Because my issue is, when can we come up with something new?
Well, see,
preach.
Old people
Please.
Look at the TV today and they see all this great photography and this great stuff like that, and they think about, man, wouldn't it be fantastic if that was now?
No, I understand that, Johnny, but I mean, I want something different, that we
I don't want remakes from every 20 years. Now that's ridiculous to me.
Right.
Don't remake a movie that is still kind of new to me. You know what I mean? That's dumb.
Well, I mean, they remade Jeepers Creepers, and if it's that should never been remade. The new one they came out with, it should have stayed where it was at.
Is that a remake or is that a sequel?
It's probably a sequel.
That's
all right, Ben. You
story
want
than a
something new?
remake.
What about Winnie the Pooh, the horror movie? There you
Oh,
go,
I saw a
buddy.
preview of that. That preview's weird.
You want something new? Here's Winnie the Pooh as a killer.
Who's not even safe no more? What are they going to do next? Turn Mr. Bean they're going to turn Mr. Bean into a serial.
They're going to turn the Grinch. The Grinch is getting a horror movie. They announced that yesterday.
Wait a minute. That kind of makes sense, though. It's the Grinch, for Christ's sakes.
So that means they called you to play the Grinch?
Okay, guys. Where are we going with this?
Yeah.
Just a long silence.
Ejectocito, cuz.
I had to. He set himself up on that when I mentioned the Grinch.
The fact it was like a long pause, and he was like,
I think remakes, not sequels. Sequels are going to go the way they go anyhow. But remakes need a certain criteria. They have to be a certain timeline when people haven't really the current what do you call it? Masses haven't actually seen the original, and then it has to the criteria has to be the writing. It has to be well written and done right.
Well, one of the things I know we're talking all different types of entertainment. I know we're in the horror genre, and I took it a different direction. I'm sorry if I hijacked, but the big thing with the superhero stuff is the Comic-Con mentality now. You'd be hard pressed to find a comic book that hasn't seen all the Supermans, all the Batmans, all the Marvel movies, all the DC movies, plus the TV shows, the streaming stuff, the YouTube series, and all of that things. They have seen all of it. So
I'm specifically talking about the 50s horror movies. The Universal monsters. We're getting that with Marvel, okay? But the movies like the Magnetic Monster, which I had highlighted tonight, that movie was from the 50s. It was really ahead of its time by it was talking about in that era, what was going to end up happening in nuclear waste, sealed in an iron drum and dumped into the sea. That's basically, if you watch that movie, it's basically so far ahead of its time that that's already talking about that right there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
so, movies like that, movies like Forbidden Planet, that could be remade, man. That was a fantastic movie at its time with Roby the Robot and shit. And people, you say, remember when we were kids? I don't, Anthony. You have to be part of this crew now. If you remember Roby the Robot, then you're part of that crew. You understand. Kids today don't know who the hell Roby the Robot is. I remember the toys every friggin' where, man.
Roby the Robot. You mean Danger Will Robinson?
No, Roby, not that. He was just Robot from
Okay.
Lost in Space. Roby was before him. He was the actual first robot ever put on screen.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I may know what you're talking about and just not know that was the name.
Glass head, thing sticking outside, but he was shaped like a man. Looked like big black balls. Oh God, I hope Jason.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh
Wait,
yes,
Sorry, sorry, Jason.
Oh,
But he did. He was
God.
big,
yes,
bulky.
yes. Looked like he had balloon legs and
Yes,
and accordion arms and
Right.
the
Actually, picture the
the-
Michelin Man with a dome for a head.
yes, and then
Oh,
had
I see a picture
had
now.
had a beater had the beaters from the mixer for
Yep.
antennas.
Yep. Yeah. Now take that movie and put it today with the graphics and the ability to actually bring it to life, and that would be a fantastic movie. And it's still relevant, actually. The I don't know if you've seen the movie or not. I ain't gonna put the spoiler alert on because it's 50 friggin' years old. People, come on.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's not fair. I haven't seen it.
There you go, Johnny.
There
wish
we
you
go.
did.
Good job.
I did it again.
There's our number one fan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jason.
But see, we need more of those remakes. We quit going back to movies that everybody has already seen and go back and remind people that there was some really great talent back in the
Okay,
day.
that's fair, but I still want to see some newer movies with new creative ideas that we've never seen before. That's all. That's all I want. Just,
All ideas come from the past in the first place. You have to have
well,
the
yeah,
past
but
in order to
I mean,
create
they're
new.
gonna take small amounts of each movie like that. But I'm just saying, like, just something new. That would a new character or a new storyline. That's all. Just
I'm showing my age too, Jim. Yeah, well, most of these movies would be new, and the creative writing to modernize those movies to make them relevant would take a lot of creative imagination.
What about the Gremlins?
Oh, for God's sake!
Nah.
What's wrong with the Gremlins?
I mean, if you wanted to take them and give it a real horror spin and make them uber carnivorous, then maybe. But just to remake the movie as is,
No, I was saying like opinion of the movie.
Oh, opinion of the movie? I thought it was one of the greatest. I thought it was one of the greatest movies of the '80s.
It was hilarious.
I mean, Flo from Alice was in it. She was.
Did anybody get any frights from Gremlins?
No.
Not really.
more comedic, but it's still
The
good.
Right, right. I
the
agree.
only part where I got a little skeeved, my stomach turned a little bit, was when one of them got stuck in the microwave and blew up.
Well, come on, Anthony. To be honest, you watched one of our shows and felt that way.
We said we weren't going to talk about that anymore. My therapist says that I am making leaps and bounds and great strides since that episode.
Speaking of
Right.
Ohio.
Okay, I got another question. As you can see, I'm wearing a Spengoli shirt, and he's one of those guys that was on every Saturdays. He still is actually in Chicago and around here, but every Saturday nights they'd have the horror flicks and stuff like that, and the old B-rated movies and stuff like that. How many of you guys have a guy like that in your area?
I did in my hometown. They had a Saturday night show that actually came on after wrestling went off on Saturday nights, and this was before WWE before the WWF got big. This was Roddy Piper, Ric Flair,
Mid-South, right? Mid-South Wrestling or Georgia
yeah, something like that.
Wrestling.
Something like that.
Yeah.
National Wrestling Alliance is what it was called back
Yes.
then. The four horsemen, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, those guys. But it came on after wrestling went off, and it was called the All Nightmare Movie, and it was hosted by a local guy named Jack North, and he would show a classic horror movie every Saturday night. There was a whole lot of the movies that you mentioned already, Johnny, like the Frankenstein and Dracula and the Phantom of the Opera and the Mask and the Thing and just the Werewolf. Like he never got into all the slash and gore stuff from the modern stuff. He stayed right in that window.
In Florida, it's Dr. Paul Bearer. It was Dr. Paul Bearer at the Saturday shows where, funny enough, the wrestling came on right after WCW came on right after Dr. Paul Bearer.
Paul Bearer,
yeah, get it. That's why when Undertaker came out, everybody in Florida was screaming, "Oh man, he's ripping us off" and all that crap. I think there was actually a lawsuit and they settled it. Anybody else? Marty, Arkansas, come on. You probably still got it going on there on Saturdays.
No, actually we don't. There's not a lot of wrestling programs here no more.
Not wrestling.
We're talking about wrestling. I thought you were talking about like wrestling.
Spingoli, you guys had to have had a show like the Spingoli show that they show B-rated movies during the day or night, whichever it is, on Saturdays.
Oh God! I mean,
and he's a host. He comes out and he does these crazy little antics, and then you move on to the show, and then he comes in and sometimes in halftime he'll talk about the show and make fun of it and stuff.
Really not around here in Arkansas. I mean, not anything I can remember. The only thing I can remember was the Tales from the Corpse. Anybody know what I'm talking about? That was big on Channel 10 or Channel 14 Fox here when I was a kid. It was like an old skeleton coming out talking about horror movies and stuff, and then halfway through come back on. But anybody know what I'm talking about? Because it was like big back in the 90s.
Well, I don't know about 90s, but you're describing exactly what we're basically talking about. Did you have a host on there?
No, just this skeleton. That was about it.
Well, that would be your host.
Yeah.
That is what we were describing, Marty. You caught up.
The only one I really had was
Elvira. From the
But I mean, that was national. Elvira, you remember Johnny? Elvira.
Yeah, Elvira was one of the first ones to start that.
But that's all I know from when I was a kid. So
she still looks phenomenal, by the way, at 70-something years
old. Oh man, doesn't she? Oh. Plastic will do wonders for your body.
Hot mess.
Okay. Any other? We did kind of like debate the remakes that we hate. What ones do we love?
It.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It.
Yes.
Beat me to it by a microsecond.
Yep.
Okay. It doesn't have to be unanimous.
Tim Curry was brilliant in the original. Make no doubt about it. But he was quite possibly the best part of it, just because I'd read the book so many times that I knew it like the back of my hand. And what they did with the rest of it was they got a bunch of TV stars like Harry Anderson and I think John Boy and John Ritter and Venus Flytrap, I think, he played the black kid as an adult. Annette O'Toole was Lord, what was the girl's name? I forgot already.
Oh, I can't remember.
And nobody remembers. But anyway, the second part of the movie, the first part was great. The second part was So they came back and they fixed that. They made sure they fixed that in this reboot. It was
Aliens. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Aliens.
I'll go with you on that one.
I mean, I didn't watch Aliens until I went to Disney. Because you know that how in Florida they used to have the great movie ride. They would have like a scene from Aliens in there.
That's your experience with the movie Aliens.
No, it made me want
Yeah,
to watch it. So I
Oh, okay.
watched it after that. That's why when I came back home.
Well, I don't care when you watched it. If you've watched it, you know that was better than the original, and that was hard to beat. Bill Paxton, yes, God rest his soul. He made some great movies too, by the way.
Yeah, because I think it takes you like through like a part of the scene of the movie. So then that's why I was like, okay, I want to watch that movie.
So, what did you think of the movie?
I liked it. It was pretty good.
We talked about Bill Paxton last week, Jim. That was, he's made a couple of really good movies. The one where he's kind of a psycho and he goes after axe murderers that's supposed to have the demon inside him.
But the new Alien I didn't like. The one that came out like 2 years ago.
I kind
think
of
it was
was
2
over.
years ago.
I kind of was over Alien after Alien versus when Alien versus Predator came out. I said, "Yeah, okay, it's time."
Yeah,
No.
Twister. Twister was one of his movies. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Jason was horrible.
Wait a minute, they did a remake of Twister. How'd I miss
No,
that?
not a remake. You were talking about Bill Paxton movies.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah,
But Twister was good.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I think that was like one of the first weather shows, and then after that came the one where the ice was all over the planet.
Oh, the day before tomorrow.
Yeah, day after tomorrow. Yep.
Don't worry, in
Another-
Florida you have Jim Cantori.
I swear he should have been in that movie. He should have been in that movie, man. They should have Jim Cantori in every weather movie out there. That he should just do cameos.
I'm not gonna lie.
He could be the Stan Lee of weather movies.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought he retired from doing weather until they showed that Hurricane Ian, and he was out there. I was like, this man does not retire.
Oh, him and Seidel are never going to stop, man.
wait a minute, hold on. I got a Bill Paxton movie for you, and were it not for the absolutely gorgeous main co-star of the movie, he would have stolen that movie. True Lies.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was
Classic.
hilarious in True Lies.
I was on the A1A bridge when they blew that piece up, and me and my ex were standing there just watching them do it. That was pretty cool.
Hey, you guys want to go? You guys want to see Johnny go from 0 to 100 real quick? I just saw Training Day 2 weeks ago.
Training day?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Watch it again.
There are just some movies, man. That's a different kind of movie, different genre, but
Yeah.
still, man, come on.
What?
Jay, you want to go to jail? You want to go home? You want to go to jail? You want to go home?
Oh, you're gonna make me watch that again tonight. Oh my!
And he
God.
was I can't. I have a hard time coming up with a Denzel movie that I really just can't watch. Denzel is just. He's just hit. Every movie is just Denzel.
The movie with John Travolta. Well, I can't remember the name of. Denzel is the operator, and that's a remake, by the way. So that's a good movie we can bring up right now too.
Which one?
Denzel and John Travolta on the trains, the subways.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Pelham one taking a Pelham 1 2 3 or something.
Pelham 1 2 3. Yes, that's a remake,
yeah.
and that was a remake that I enjoyed. It was much better than the original. I think. I'm sorry. Rest in peace, Jimmy Stewart, or whoever you were.
Or whoever you were. Jimmy Stewart. Wait. Jimmy Stewart or whoever you were. I mean, Jimmy Stewart.
Come on. But Denzel and Travolta, that movie just brought a whole new life to the original. I mean, would anybody know the original right now if they hadn't made that? Yeah,
Probably not.
No.
Has they? I'm not sure if you guys seen it. I haven't seen it yet. I just want to see your opinions on it. That movie Bullet Train.
No, I haven't seen it.
Dang, I want to see people's opinion on that. Cause I have yet to see
Eli
it.
was pretty good too. Yeah. And that's a post-apocalyptic movie. We could actually throw that into the horror genre, I guess. Sci-fi, at least.
I like the oh, what's that freaking? Damn it!
Denzel's Best, The Book of Eli. That was good.
Anthony, you've got a
I saw it.
friend.
I saw it.
Mhm.
Jason's been gunning for everybody since
Jason's a little slut, ain't he?
a little bit.
Yeah. Sounds like it. I still think Coach Boone from Remember the Titans, that was his best role.
You was
You drop a pass, you run a mile.
Cloverfield. That's
You
what it was.
miss
Cloverfield
you
Lane.
miss an assignment, you run a
Well,
mile.
Cloverfield Lane is, believe it or not, part of
It's
the Cloverfield
part of it.
series.
It's part of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I'm mad that they make the movie after. They're supposed to make a movie after that,
There
but they
is.
did never. Which
There
one is that?
It's done in space, man. The
I'm
astronauts on the space station. It's all, a lot of creepy shit go on in that. That is actually the creepiest of the Cloverfield movies.
Oh, Cloverfield Paradox.
Paradox, yes.
Yeah, that shit. I like Cloverfield Lane. Like Cloverfield, like the original, like it's like it's like mostly like all documented on camera.
found footage. It's a whole found footage genre deal.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like me with like this seeing people with the camera nonstop, like all shaking, it gets kind of annoying.
John Goodman.
Well, you see, you being young, you probably don't remember the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, we were just talking about that one.
Yeah, that's the movie that started to kind of just kicked off this whole found footage genre when it came to horror movies, thrillers, paranormal the movies about the paranormal.
It's
And
terrible.
I mean, everybody seemed to. I'm going to tell you something. Everybody swore up and down that Blair Witch was this great movie.
I'm crippled.
I tried to
Too
watch
much.
it. I tried to watch that movie 3 times. I fell asleep on that movie 3 times.
I thought it was a ridiculous movie, and
Yeah.
the thing that got everybody's attention, everybody after that movie thought they could go out and spend $200 and make a movie and make a fortune for themselves.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, those folks made a movie and they struck while it was hot, and a bunch of people were like, "This is so cool." Everybody convinced themselves that it was cool. I fell asleep on it.
Yeah,
I have seen movies with dumber concepts than that.
The scariest thing about
that
that
I
movie
sat-
was the girl holding the camera up to her friggin' face with snot running down her nose.
Yeah.
I didn't need to see that. I didn't need to
Oh,
see
that got made fun of 8 Ways from Sunday on every horror parody movie ever made.
Mhm.
Remember when they did the scary movie and the guy was like, "This
Yeah.
guy is chasing Miss Gale," and he got this. I mean, it's just running like a freaking faucet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that? Wait a minute. We're doing remakes, good remakes. That wasn't even.
Yeah, that was a good one.
No, but the reason why like, the Cloverfield, I wish it like left off when they were leaving and they were going towards the city. Also, because they leave off on that part.
It leaves off on the part where the monster just looks down at the camera, and I thought that was the best part because
No, man, the Cloverfield
guy
Lane. Man.
that monster is probably the cutest looking freaking monster ever made. Come on, man.
And
No, but no, I meant Cloverfield Lane, man. Where she's like leaving, and she hears like the radio. They had her going to the city. I thought it was gonna go off of that.
Yeah, it's not a better version of the original though. I mean, we're kind of Aliens 2 was better than Aliens. The Exorcist 2 was better than the original. What else? What else is better than its original?
I mean, Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2, that followed Jamie Lee Curtis. That one was really good. That's like neck and neck on what was actually better.
I don't know. It's funny, and I've seen a lot of horror sequels, but none really come to mind right now. Like I watched Nightmare up till part 6, I think, part 5 or 6. Then I tapped out until they did the reboot with Jackie Earl.
Well, they couldn't top the original Nightmare when what was it? Kevin Bacon was in. and
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Thank you.
Mm.
Johnny Depp was in, and they kill him. You can't top that. That was.
I'm your boyfriend now,
Yeah,
Nancy.
that was an originally scary freaking movie. It became a comedy afterwards.
Well, they made it campy on purpose.
I mean, Halloween's a comedy basically.
What do you mean, Halloween?
Whoa,
Because like I mean, if you watch from the aspect of like how their deaths, like how they could have avoided being caught, like
No.
superheroes trying to
That's
like
every horror movie. That's the point. You name a horror movie where you don't sit there and go, "What in the hell are you doing?"
Why can't we just get in the running
Running
car?
But the room with running chainsaws is better to hide.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah,
know
good
what you
idea.
did last summer.
Run to the
Oh.
cemetery.
It's typical white people shit. That's what we do.
Like seriously, like even with oh god, Scream.
Oh yeah.
If somebody called my house and start talking like my dearly departed great aunt who smoked like 3 packs of Chesterfields a day and sounded like both Selma and Patty from The Simpsons.
Oh, you're
If
dating
somebody
yourself
called-
there, Anthony. They don't even make Chesterfields anymore, bro.
Oh, they stopped
Okay,
making
okay.
Chesterfields before I was born, but I know what they were.
Scream
Hey,
was a great movie, dude. I'm sorry.
I'll just say,
The first-
if somebody
yeah.
called my house and asked me
Mm.
what's my favorite scary movie, hang
You're
up,
gonna slam your
block.
phone. You're gonna slam your phone, or you're gonna say Bambi, slam your phone down, then call the police.
Yeah, and something. Click, click. I tell you what, you ain't getting ready to come up in here with none of this.
Yeah.
You
All right,
dig?
Facebook user, who is this?
Yeah, they would have to sign in with StreamYard to be able to.
Yeah, sign in with StreamYard and we'll see your name and then we'll let you in. We can't have no anonymous strangers up in here because you know what happened in that movie.
Do you know what's a good movie
What
that I
unfriended?
actually
What
watched on
unfriended?
Netflix?
What
The
was
Old
that?
Guard.
The what?
The Old Guard.
Never heard of it.
It was like,
Wait a minute. You're talking about the one where they're like immortals?
yeah, there's like 2 witches or something. They call them like witches. And they
Yeah.
had like one, and then like they bury her in water.
Yeah, that was
Or some
okay.
butcher.
Movie. It was okay. It'll never be a classic, but it was a good movie.
Because like on the ship, they would play the movies over and over again. Like they'll play Footloose and stuff like that. I never seen that movie until they played it. But that's the reason why I liked being on the ship. Because like they would play like classic movies, and they would play movies that they had on Netflix somehow. So today, and I think like one night they were showing like a whole Nightmare on Elm Street like marathon, which I actually liked. But the Old Guard was actually pretty good.
Okay, I'll check it out. Check
I
it
think it's
out.
on Netflix.
I just dropped the link in there, man. Just click on the link and you can join the show.
Yeah, but if you go on Netflix, man, I think it's still there.
The Old Guard. Okay.
I
Hey,
guess
what's that new one? What's the new one on Netflix? The one with the kid from Stranger Things. It's about he has this phone and he talks to.
hold on just a minute, Marty. We're gonna have to say goodbye to our co-host here. Marty McFly here says he's got to get off. I guess Jason's been talking too much. So,
No.
all right, Marty, let them know what you're going to be.
Well, I'll be here Thursday for NFL edition to
Burn that
make
shirt, I
my.
hope.
Excuse me, sir. I'm offended. No, not really. Cause we suck ass. Yeah. So I will be back. I will be back on Thursday night for NFL edition to do my wonderful Johnny loves so much Marty's dumbass picks. So tune
Thank
in
you very much,
Thursday because there's going to probably be one or two that's going to make you think or going to make you start drinking. See you then.
You gonna pick the
Bye,
Falcons?
everyone. Hell no. No. By the way, Anthony, real quick, we shouldn't have won that game. You got robbed. We got fucked over by the refs. You did too. That was just an ugly game. All the respect to your team, man, because your team still fights.
Shit
That
happened.
honestly, that was just a bad officiating in the entire game. So I got a lot of respect.
We're
for
going to
your
turn
team,
that
buddy.
into a movie later on, and it'll probably be a horror story. So,
2 falcons, 1 pirate.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Dude,
And with that,
dude. That was wrong. It should
Marty wins.
it should be on there.
Nah, you looks like you. Yeah, okay, there it is.
Oh, for Christ's sakes. Okay, man. Anything? Well, he's don't wore my co-host out. I can't believe we said we're going to go an hour on this show. That was an hour ago. But hey, we got a good discussion going on. This is probably a lot better than last week's show.
Really? Because
With
you had
that
your,
I
your
got
nephew
you.
on though last week. He was great. Nephew was great.
Yeah,
Well,
he
I
likes
mean,
to talk. He likes to talk.
well, I know, but I mean, he knows all his
He had an anecdote for everything. Everything. Everything.
He was supposed to actually be on tonight, but his girls got to him. Got to cut him some slack, man. He's raising 4 girls. So
Oof, my God. I am so sorry.
at least I had boys, so I could slap them in the head and tell them to get the hell out of the room. Go
You have a
play
football team.
Yeah.
Johnny Cromartie.
You're in the live chat, Dougie. It should be here. I'll try it again. You should see this come up in the chat. The link is in the chat, Marty. Doug. That's a fact. That is a fact. And that goes to Marty's point with the music thing too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Ever watch a movie with it muted? You're not going to jump. You're going to sit there and go, "What the hell are they doing? What's going on there?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Captions don't work either. They don't help. So
Unsolved Mysteries is looking for Cotton Eye Joe.
Creepy noises intensify. You watching the TV, so creepy noises intensify. Music swells.
Anthony, do you know this guy?
Who, Dougie Finch?
Yeah.
I do not.
Does
I don't
anybody know
think-
this
I
guy?
don't think-
I would send it to you in Messenger, man. I don't think you're on my friends list.
I don't think I'm even in this group chat thing.
Dougie Fresh. Though.
Which Facebook platform are you watching this on? Because it's on a bunch of different groups.
Watching on StreamYard. I think that's what I'm watching.
I hope you are. What are you? What is
I'm in so many freaking groups. So you gotta like.
Is this beard of yours starting to become a thing here, Alec?
Yeah, this is my I don't give a fuck mood.
Yeah, it's because you're not working right now, huh?
No, I got my papers, so I don't gotta shave it no more. I got the finesse.
Johnny Dean Live on Facebook. Yep.
I know you sent me an invite to a group, but there's like so many groups on here that doesn't narrow it down.
I know where he's at. Now. He's on my personal page, so let's go over there.
What an interesting conversation we're having right now. It's good.
Well,
so Ben, how's Vegas doing after yesterday?
Quite a day, man. Good old Devontae is probably going to get suspended.
And he's getting sued, apparently, or a police report.
Yep, he already filed that.
Dude's already filed a police report, but there's secondary footage that shows that the extent of the injuries that he claims he suffered were not as severe, and the show was not as severe as he made it out to be.
Okay, I got something to say about that. But
Devontae was a dumbass for shoving the kid in the first place.
Right,
You are the minute The minute you hear somebody say, and with the X pick in the such and such NFL draft, the such and such team selects, and you sign that contract, you are a target. Period. You have to have cooler heads to prevail.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. If I was him, I'll just lay on the ground. You gotta play it off.
Yeah, but the messed up part about that is sometimes that backfire on you too. I mean, well, not that he was trying to be the better guy, but Brian Robinson got carjacked and almost wound up not being here.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, and guys, I think we've run out of our discussions. All I got to say now is, look, Psycho 1998, get out of here.
No, let's get the fuck out.
I like remakes and I like them, but the whole point of bringing a remake into the modern day is to make it relevant to the modern day. And if you're just copying verbatim the original, then you're not making anything. You're just making money off someone's other efforts.
Yeah.
You're making money.
I will say this: the oh my god moment of the year, Psycho 2, when Norman smashes that lady's head in with the shovel, because that was something that had never really been shown on screen in a horror movie before. It was always suggested off screen, like he just flat out just flop.
Yeah. That was Psycho 2. I'm talking about the remake of 1990.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I was just talking about that. Yeah,
I don't really have a problem with the I guess what was it, a sequel or whatever, but to remake verbatim a movie just to be doing it to make money off of the original, that's insane. It didn't come across well either. You know what I mean? They didn't put the effort into it. A classic like Psycho. Look, you're talking about Alfred Hitchcock. You better put some respect on that one. If you're going to remake an Alfred Hitchcock movie, you better damn well put some respect on it. You know what I mean? And that don't mean just verbatim crap. Use some. The guy was a genius, so show some of your genius when you make it.
Yes, 100%.
All right, man. I'm going to cut out of here tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I certainly enjoyed the chat here, 100%. Jim, we'll have you on next week. We're going to have some fun discussing one of my favorite topics: books to movies. That's going to be good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Later, Jason. Don't stop showing up, even though you drive Ben nuts. Anthony, you're always welcome.
Thank you,
always a pleasure to have you on. Alec, glad to see you up. Well, semi up. I guess Jason's going to have to work on you a little bit harder.
No, I'm just resting my ankle because apparently I had to have surgery.
Good night,
possibly.